What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ham House Sports. This is Ham House Sports Guide to Collecting and Investing Sports Cards. This is part 4, and today we will be going over card brands and sports, like different sports.
Yeah, so in the U.S. we have three major sports. Well, there are four, but three major sports that I would say is going to be baseball, basketball, and American football. And then you've got hockey, of course, and then you've got soccer, stuff like that. There's also wrestling cards, and there's Grand Prix cards, racing cards. There's all kinds of stuff.
Tons.
But for our purposes, we are kind of a three major sports type collector.
More like 2, but we'll do 3.
Well, we can talk about why. So baseball, basketball, football for us are really what matter. So it's important to understand that each type of sport kind of has its own little internal economy within the entire sports card thing. Okay. So let's talk first about baseball, Matthew.
Yes.
Baseball cards, we've talked about the eras and all that kind of stuff, but when you're talking about modern cards, what drives the value in those modern cards?
So with modern baseball cards, there's multiple different brands of baseball cards, right? So only Topps has the right to use the MLB jerseys in card, like to show their actual jerseys and to show their actual logo in cards. So brands from Panini, like Flawless, National Treasures, Prism, and all those brands, you can't actually show the player's jersey, so that brings the value way down. So you actually want to stick to probably one brand if you're doing baseball. We'll talk about why. But Bowman, first Bowman autos, first Bowman cards, that's where they have the little first in the top right corner of the card, raise the value significantly because it's the first card ever printed of a player.
That is the first Bowman autograph of Jackson Holliday, the number 1 overall pick from 2000.
This is Trey.
And this is the first Bowman auto from Trey Turner.
And
this is the first Bowman auto from Ronald Acuna. So a lot of collectors, investors believe that the first Bowman card is kind of the most modern, iconic card that you can grab. But there's another side that believes that Topps is Topps, even though they own Bowman.
Yeah.
The Topps flagship, the first Topps card ever printed.
This Topps Chrome Rookie.
Right, yeah. Topps Chrome Rookie. So those two brands, Topps and Bowman, drive the market.
Yes.
But in Bowman, it has to be the first Bowman.
Yes.
And then the autograph is more valuable, and then the numbered autographs are more valuable. And then in Topps, you've got the Topps Chrome cards. They have the autographs. They have numbered, but they also have the SSPs, the super short prints. That's like here, the Acuna and the Shohei. So that said, modern sports cards, baseball, it can get pretty confusing.
It really can.
So you have to understand the different brands. What Matthew said about licensed and unlicensed is huge because you might have a card from Select or Prism or Flawless. These are all brands of a Ronald Acuna, but he can't show his Atlanta Braves logo, right? So most collectors want where you can see his Atlanta Braves logo. So people that are opening packs of Select and Prism and stuff, it's more for the purpose of fun and collecting.
And you can get autographs.
Yeah, and you can still get some decent stuff. But as far as long-term sustainable value, and for the premier collectors, they're going to focus on Bowman first and the Topps flagship, and that's
first 90%.
Yeah, and that's baseball. Yeah. So let's talk now about our second favorite sport, which is football.
Yeah, so football, basically, there's tons of brands, and Topps and Bowman don't make football cards for the NFL. Bowman
they're getting ready to, right? Didn't they make that announcement? Or that's basketball?
Basketball, right? So Topps and Bowman makes college, and we'll talk about that. So if a card, like if you're going to Walmart and you see a bunch of boxes, right? We'll talk about the brands you want to get. Whatever you do, this is just Matt's advice. Unless you collect a certain college or you like college cards, I would highly recommend not getting any cards that say draft picks on it.
Yeah.
Because they're not in their jersey, and the cards won't hold as much value since they're in their college jersey. And I learned that lesson because I went and bought a LaMelo Ball draft picks card because I saw it was a Prism draft picks, right? The regular Prism of that card, $600. It's like, Dad, I picked it up for $20, right? It was probably a $8 card. I bought it for $20 because I thought it was a red ice, but it really was just a draft picks card. So it really doesn't hold its value. But you have other cards. The main brands I would go after, if you're going after football, right? National Treasures, Flawless. Those are two really expensive brands, but they're great brands. Prism, Select, and Optic. Those are the only brands I would go after.
Contenders.
And Contenders. Contenders is our favorite
So
brand.
football market has a little bit more diversity. If baseball is just the two, football has some more competition. Your high-end brands like National Treasures and Flawless are probably out of reach for the average collector.
Yes.
Those cards are really expensive because like this here, they've got pieces of jersey.
And
They're
autographs.
thicker cards and they've got autographs. You know, those cards are in the thousands of dollars usually for your kind of key players.
And TVs.
But you can find affordable cards and really get into the market with other brands like Prism or Contenders.
Or Select.
Yes, Select
Optic.
and Optic. So when you're looking at football cards, make sure that you understand the brands. Now, card companies got it figured out because they say, well, people want the cards of these people, but they can't afford the higher end cards.
then
So they
go
come up with these other branded
which
cards.
you should stay away from. And some of those
Well,
names,
no, we stay away from them.
Yes.
They can do whatever they want to do. And a lot of people like to collect them because they can't afford, right? Or they don't want to afford. Like you're going to go buy a box, a hobby box for $400 or $500. Somebody goes, well, I can go buy a pack of Score. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, but
For
you can
$12,
get
$15 bucks.
You can get a retail box, a hanger box, a Prism for like $20.
Right, but even
while
still,
Score is
like-
$15.
Like a lot of young kids, though, they're going to just go buy a card because they just want the card of their favorite player.
Yeah.
So they're just going to go buy it for $10 and have the card. It's not really about the investing or
Yes.
collecting.
Well, for them. But like if you're investing cards,
Yes.
the brands I would stay away from, just off the top of my head, would be Score, anything that says draft picks. We already went over that. Chronicles, Obsidian, Phoenix, Playbook, Origins. What else? What else am I missing?
I mean, that's a pretty good synopsis.
That's pretty much it.
Spectra.
Spectra, like, and all those brands. Anything that says Bowman Chrome U or anything, I
Yeah.
would stay away from that unless, like I said, you like.
They
collecting.
have their purpose in the market for guys who want cards of their player at a low cost. But if you're thinking long-term value, if you're thinking sustainability, in junk wax, like we mentioned in the last video, they just overproduced cards. Now they just overproduce brands. So instead of overproducing one card, they overproduce brands.
Think about it. If like each player has 1,000 autographs per brand, right? But they have like 18 different brands. So
Right.
instead of having only 1,000 autographs, they have 18,000 autographs. So it's not as rare anymore.
So that's kind of just something to be mindful of when you look at. And these are guys that thinking that they're going to buy cards, they're going to be worth all this money. Your core brands are what are going to drive the value in that. And so that moves us into basketball. We don't do a ton of basketball, modern basketball at least, but still, what are the brands?
Yeah, so the brands for modern basketball you want, it's honestly pretty similar to
Football.
but Prism is key of basketball. Prism
National Treasures, Flawless,
and
Prism.
Select maybe, Optic maybe, and Contenders yes, but like it's just National Treasures and Prism instead of National Treasures and Flawless. National Treasures and Prism drive the basketball card market, and you can see some cards like Luka Doncic, like his True Blue Prism in a PSA 9, going for $30,000 from the height of the market.
Yeah.
So Prism and National Treasures drive the basketball card market. But if you look at like Steph Curry's rookie, Topps, if you're looking to pick up a Steph Curry rookie because he's my favorite player, and we own 2, maybe about to be 3, hopefully. But his main card is his Topps. He has multiple other ones like his Panini and his Exquisite, which is Exquisite is a good one, but super expensive. But his Topps is the main one you want to go after. And like older basketball cards like Michael Jordan, you want to go after his Fleer card.
Yeah. So again, we're talking about modern now, but every era had its own thumb. So like when Steph Curry was coming up in 2009, Topps was king of basketball because Prism didn't exist. But Giannis,
Antetokounmpo.
he was a Prism guy. So there was
Luka
no
was a
Topps.
Prism guy.
Luka was a Prism guy. So you
Jokic
have
was a
to
Prism
know.
guy.
You have to know what era you're in to what brand of card is going to be the most valuable. Because like LeBron James back in 2003 had some off-brand rookie cards,
like Bowman Chrome.
Yeah, but the one that is his card
is his Topps Chrome.
Is his Topps Chrome rookie
Where
card.
he's doing the fadeaway.
Yeah, and then he had an Upper Deck that had a signature on it that's super rare,
really
no,
that
high
one,
end.
That one's super.
But like when I was a kid, King Griffey Jr.'s Upper Deck rookie was Upper Deck. Well, Upper Deck doesn't exist in that capacity anymore.
Well, because Michael Jordan, he only signs with Upper Deck, and Upper Deck doesn't have any basketball cards anymore. So that means not a single Michael Jordan autograph will ever be printed ever again. Well, is this what they're saying? So his on card at least. So that they're very rare.
So that's why we've actually got this as a really neat kind of collector's piece here. Be careful with this. This is an actual Michael Jordan autograph from a friend of ours who got it autographed on an airplane. And we are getting ready to take that and get that authenticated. An early Michael Jordan autograph there. So, be mindful of the sport. Be mindful of the brands. You want licensed stuff, and then you want to focus on the key brands if you're looking to build long-term value. So next, Matthew, we're going to talk about grading in the next video, but that wraps up the conversation about what sports and what brands.
Yep.